I would like to call this Quincy City Council meeting to order Monday, February 27th, 2023. It is now 6:30 PM. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Andronico. Counselor Kane.
Present.
Counselor Devine. Counselor Harris. Counselor Liang, sorry. Counselor Mahoney. Counselor McCarthy.
Present.
Counselor Phelan. President DeBona.
Present.
7 members.
7 members. We have a quorum. Please stand if you can. Get a moment of silence. Please use it as you wish. Please turn to the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, please read the open meeting law.
According to the open meeting law, anybody may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may, by any medium, they are present.
Thank you. First item on the agenda, Madam Clerk.
Number 1, 2023-017, an appropriation for $1,995,000.
I'd like to recognize Councilor Kane. There's a motion made to move to Finance Committee. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilor McCarthy.
On the motion.
On the motion, Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a quick comment on this item. This is just a continuation of some great work that happened over the last few years in Ward 1 in regards to the seawall project that took a few years for Phase 1 from the Willows up to Chickatawbut. And I know that Al Grazioso and his team are excited to get back into the seawall business. And we'll go the other way now from the Willows down to Perry Beach and do some extensive work down there. So I can't thank the administration enough for being able to continue with this. I mean, it's a big safety concern down there over the years, and it's something that when we're done with Manat, we'll have pretty much all the weak spots on the seawall taken care of. So thank you.
Thank you. So we have a motion made and seconded to move into finance. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. That goes into Finance Committee, please. Next item on the agenda, Madam Clerk.
Number 2, 2023-018, an appropriation for community preservation, $95,000 for emergency structural repairs to the Sudden Tide Mill Foundation.
I'd like to recognize the Mayor's Executive Secretary, Mr. Walker. Go right ahead.
Through you, Mr. President, thank you very much. As the body has a CPC application and the approval memo from the Community Preservation Committee relative to some emergency work at the Southern Tide Mill. Essentially, this is to provide bracing for the pylons at the Tide Mill. Structural engineers took a look at it, as they do quite frequently, and it is in dire need of being replaced. The only real difference here is you'll obviously notice that this is coming out of the usual CPC funding cycle. We usually take care of those in June. Mr. President, I know as you as a member of the committee voted based on the timeliness and the need. The committee voted at its last meeting to move this immediately for appropriation from this body based upon the emergency nature of the request.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Like Mr. Walker elaborated, it was an 8-0 vote at the CPC that was an emergency item that needed to be taken out now. The funding would not been approved until June if we had waited, and then really not appropriated until July. So time is of the essence for this particular project. If I can I get a motion to approve made by Councilor Harris, seconded by Councilor McCarthy? Any discussion on the motion? I'd like to recognize Councilor Liang.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a quick question. How much is remaining in the fund after this?
Councilor, currently there is in their reserve, the historic reserve account, there is about $820,000 in that reserve.
Great. Thank you, Madam Moderator. Thank
You're
you, Mr.
welcome.
President.
Thank you. Any other counselors? So I got a motion made by Counselor Harris. I got a second by Counselor McCarthy. Up, Counselor Mahoney, you have the floor.
I just have a quick question. Was this brought to us, was it brought to the CPC by the Friends of the Southern Tide Mill, or how did this get identified as a need? I didn't see that in
We'll
the
go to Mr.
package.
Walker on that.
Commissioner of Public Buildings, Paul Hines, working with Bob Davin, our Historic and Heritage Resources Director. Bob has been working on this for quite some time directly with the Friends, the whole project, the whole building itself. And this came up from Bob, through Paul, through Commissioner Hines, to our office, and then to the CPC.
Okay. And then just one other question. I understand it's the pictures tell a story, so I know it looks like it's in dire repair. Is there a master plan for the area that would include potentially the new marina or the master plan? So and when would that be shared? Because
There is one under development right now that would incorporate both the Tide Mill site and the marina site.
So this is just, this $95,000 is strictly for the emergency repair?
Strictly for the Tide Mill itself, yes.
And that's
Counsel.
because of the foundation is,
We would prefer it not to fall into the water.
I would too, actually. Thank you.
Welcome. Any other counselors? The motion made and seconded. So, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Kane.
Yes.
Counselor Devine. Counselor Harris.
Yes.
Counselor Liang. Yes. Counselor Mahoney. Yes. Counselor McCarthy. Yes. President DeBona.
Yes.
7 members.
7 members in the affirmative, 7-0. Motion carries. That completes our agenda items for tonight, Madam Clerk. Is that correct?
Yes, it does.
Okay, and approval of previous meeting minutes of February 13th, 2023. Motion approved made by Counselor Kane, seconded by Counselor Liang. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. That is a vote. Communications and reports from the mayor, other city officers, and city boards. Madam Clerk, do we have a couple traffics here?
Yes, to refer to Ordinance Committee for Advertising, Ward 3, Counselor Kane, remove handicap loading zone at 316 Farrington Street, add handicap parking to 316 Farrington Street. Ward 4, Counselor Devine, add stop sign on Grove Street at Forest Ave, add a 15-minute parking at 371 Granite Street and at 372 Granite Street. Ward 5, Councilor Phelan, add all-way stop sign to Beach Street at Rossum Road, add stop sign on Lafayette and Putnam Street, add stop sign at Roberts Lane and Dickens Street.
Those are going to be advertised, is that correct?
Referred to ordinance for
Ordinance and
advertising.
advertised, okay. Any other communication reports, mayor, city officers, city boards, anyone else? Unfinished business and preceding meeting. Reports of committees. Folks? Presentation of petitions, memorials, and remonstrance. Next week, okay. Counselors, anyone? Motion, orders, and resolutions. Scheduling committee meetings and public hearings. Any subcommittee, called committees here, subcommittees is school committee, but any committees, any folks? Any counselors? All right, we're going to be meeting back here on Monday, March 6th, which is a week from tonight at 6:30 PM. We also have a Monday, March 20th, which is 2 weeks from that date on 6:30.
Motion adjourned?
Motion made to adjourn by Counselor Kane, seconded by Counselor Yang. All in favor, say aye. We are now adjourned at 6:39 PM.